All right, let's talk about something that might feel a little familiar. It's this weird paradox. You can spend a whole weekend diving into a super complex problem. But when it comes to simple everyday tasks, the motivation is just gone. What's the deal with that? Let's get into it.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever pushed so hard for a goal, worked for weeks, maybe even months? You finally get there, you cross the finish line, and you feel nothing? Just kind of empty? That anticlimactic feeling is a huge clue about what's really going on inside your head. And that feeling right there is the heart of what we're going to call the motivation paradox. It's that bizarre situation where you can build an entire system from scratch, but you can't get yourself to answer one simple email. Look, this isn't some kind of character flaw, it's just a difference in how you're wired. Now, what's the first thing we usually tell ourselves when this happens? The internal monologue goes something like, I must be so lazy, or I just need more discipline. This is one of the most damaging myths out there for smart, creative people. And today, we're going to take it apart, piece by piece. So to really bust that myth, we need to understand the mechanics behind it. Let's dig into why those normal rewards that seem to work for everyone else just don't do it for you. Here's the most important thing to get. The whole reward system that society runs on, getting a bonus, getting praised, getting that public recognition, it often just falls flat for minds that are built for complexity. That year-end bonus just doesn't hit the same way as the thrill of finally cracking a problem that's been bugging you for a month. It's pretty simple, really. They're just the wrong kind of fuel. And, there's actually a really cool scientific term for this feeling. It's called a dopamine mismatch. Basically, your brain's reward system has a really high bar. It's not impressed by simple surface-level rewards. It's just underwhelmed. That's exactly why you'd rather spend all weekend learning a new coding language for fun than spend 10 minutes filing an expense report, even though you know you'll get money back. That feeling of boredom, that's your brain screaming that a goal lacks any real substance. So let's just break down why these external rewards don't work for you. They're all about getting approval from the outside. But for a mind like yours, one that craves depth and meaning, that stuff just feels superficial, right? Almost hollow. It doesn't plug into the part of you that's actually hungry for a bigger purpose. Okay, so if all that external stuff is the wrong kind of fuel, what's the right kind? Well, this is where we get to the good stuff. This is about your motivational engine. It's not about looking for fuel out there somewhere. It's about understanding your intrinsic drive. Think of it like this. You've got two kinds of fuel. On one hand, you have the external drive. This is all the stuff you feel you should do, the things you do to get a reward or maybe to avoid getting in trouble. But then there's the intrinsic drive, and that is your superpower. That's the stuff you genuinely want to do. It comes from inside, and it's powered by curiosity, by growth, and by a deep sense of personal meaning. So let's just flip the script right now. That nagging need you have for things to mean something, that is not a bug, it's a feature. It's your greatest strength when it comes to motivation. Your engine just doesn't run on the cheap, low-grade fuel of external praise. It requires the high-octane, premium fuel of deep, personal purpose. All right, so how do we actually put all this into practice? Let's get to the final and most powerful piece of the puzzle. We're going to call this the purpose density shift. I want you to just take a second and really let this one sink in. This is the big takeaway. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a purpose density requirement. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about realizing that your motivation is directly linked to how much purpose you can find in any given task. So what in the world is purpose density? It's actually a pretty simple idea. Think of it as a way to measure how much real, personal meaning you can attach to something. If a task has high purpose density, it feels deeply connected to your values, to who you are. But a task with low purpose density, it just feels pointless. And this is where the magic happens. It's a total mindset shift. On one side, you have that old self-critical voice saying, I'm just lazy. But the new mindset is so much more powerful because it's diagnostic. It says, okay, this task lacks purpose for me. See the difference? You go from being the problem to being the problem solver. Your job isn't to brute force your way through it. Your job is to find the meaning. So you're probably asking, okay, sounds great, but how do I actually do this? Well, it's easier than you think. There are 3 basic steps. First, connect the task. It's not just organize my files. It's I'm creating a clear space so I can do deep, focused work on that project I really care about. Second, focus on the skill. Instead of seeing a boring report as just data entry, think about the skill of data visualization. How can you present this information to tell a really compelling story? You're not just filling out a spreadsheet, you're leveling up a valuable skill. And third, reframe the task. You're not just washing the dishes, you're resetting your home environment to create a peaceful space where you and your family can recharge. It's all about the story you tell yourself. So let's not just have this be some interesting idea you heard, let's make it real. Take a look at your to-do list for today. What's that one thing on there that you've been dreading? Instead of trying to force yourself to do it, just ask, how can I infuse this with a little bit of purpose? Go give it a shot. Thanks for tuning in.